4 quarters of Notre Dame football.
He's met by Alohi Gilman with a nasty hit. Chase Claypool reaches across the goal line. Touchdown, Irish. Still moving. Chris Fink inside the 20-yard line. Down he goes.
No matter what happens, we stay together.
And intercepted by Jalen Elliott.
Look, a great fake. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Welcome to Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com. I'm Darren Pritchett, along with former Fighting Irish quarterback Evan Sharpley. Notre Dame is preparing to play in the Camping World Bowl against the Iowa State Cyclones. That's after going 10-2 during the regular season. Evan, as you look back at the 10-win regular season, offensively, it was a group of players that got better late in the season.
Yeah, it was a great way to finish strong for this Irish offense. If you saw what they did here for the last 6 games, really peaked towards the end of the season. So I think there should be excitement as they move into bowl season. Certainly had a lot of questions as maybe what 2020 will look like, but there should be a lot of confidence going forward.
And when you think about the Fighting Irish defense, it was a group throughout the season that was very stingy and kept the team in every single ball game outside of that Michigan contest.
There were a lot of questions early on in the season, right? I mean, prior to the season starting, I think a lot of people point at that linebacker position, and really they performed at a very high level. So if there's something you can count on from this Irish defense over the last couple of years, it's been getting off the field on third downs and creating timely turnovers. And that was once again a staple of this Irish defense.
This is Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Vivid Seats, Canon, and SiriusXM.
Let's take a look back at some of the great highlights during their 10-2 regular season.
Notre Dame football, 2019. It's a long season. There's ups, there's downs. But as long as we stay together, locked in arms, nothing could break us.
And score by Jeremiah Usu-Karamoa.
A stingy defense.
Ali Ogundeji got a big arm in there.
Dos del lado izquierdo, incluyendo a la cerrada. Quieren pintar, quieren bomba. Touchdown! Notre Dame. ¿Quién más? Chase Claypool. Cae a la alberca de los 6 puntos.
Week 1, had to head down south to knock down some birds.
Monday Night Football can't get better than this. Let's get it. Go Irish.
Book again, looking to throw on first down. Across the middle. Hits his man in stride. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
First home game of the year. We back around love.
Best feeling in the world, man. Being on this field, it's crazy.
6 DBs on the field. Sharon Jones throws. It's deflected and intercepted. It's the freshman, Kyle Hamilton, in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
This combo right here is going to be a problem. Get ready to see a whole lot more of this. Heading down to Georgia for a business trip.
We have a team that will persevere, that will keep fighting, but I love the fact that I know what I've got with this group, and it's a tough-minded group that will fight you to the very end and fight you with a physicality that I haven't seen before.
Virginia week, coming back home in front of our home crowd, got to put on the show. My D-line brothers, they held it down. Wait a minute, so how many sacks did we get? Not 2, not 3, not 4, 5, 6, man, not even 7.
It's pressure, got him again, Aquara knocked it out. It is picked up and scooped by Ali Ogundeji. Touchdown.
Bowling Green, defense, shut them down.
They gonna figure it out. They gonna stop putting the back on you. You feel me?
Offense, lit them up.
But I told Chase, I'm about to throw for 5 touchdowns. I hope he gets a couple, and it worked out.
SC, it's time to put the damn ball down and let's go.
This is the rivalry for Notre Dame football. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
QB1, Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected. Game on the line, no problem. The boy got ice in his veins.
Giant exhale from 70,000 plus here in South Bend inside Notre Dame Stadium.
To address the elephant in the room, we played Michigan, and we lost. But when you get knocked down, you got no choice but to get your butt back up. Not just for you, but for your brothers.
We got so much more left in our tank. We gotta love each other. We gotta take care of each other every single day, man. Remind each other, love your brothers, take care of each other. Remember this, man. Remember this feeling. Remember this. But when we finish this thing off, we can look each other in the eyes and know that we give it our all.
Hey, it's time to bounce back, fellas. The whole world is against us. But at the end of the day, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. Go ahead, 5-3. Talk your cash. 4th and long, no problem. Book to Claypool, automatic.
Gain of 26 on Gotta Have It.
And when it's all on the line, we know whose hands we want the ball in. Go ahead, 12.
Around the corner, touchdown, Ian Book.
That's my quarterback.
Bro, he the slowest fast dude I know. Okay, you could have run a 10-3 down the sideline.
Hey, Jalen Elliott, don't talk to 5 about his return skills. We done all seen how you are in the open field.
A tough catch in traffic by Claypool.
To the goal line, touchdown Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Navy Week. If it's personal to one of us, you better be damn sure that it's personal to all of us.
This is me versus you. My brothers versus you.
Y'all remember that problem I mentioned earlier in the season? Yeah, it became something of a nuisance for Navy.
Number 2. Touchdown Notre Dame. Chase Claypool again. Book. Claypool. Hat trick. Touchdown Notre Dame. Notre Dame touchdown on a record day for Claypool.
Senior night. Time to send out the seniors that changed it all.
Pressure on. Brosero is sacked by Alohi Gilman.
Khalid Kareem knocked it out.
What a play by Khalid Kareem. Getting that ball out.
Stanford week. We knew we had to finish strong. We know we had to go get that one for Coach. All right, boys. We got one more left. One more time to put the monogram on your chest. The gold helmet on your head. Go out and represent. Have fun. Stay true to who we are. And most of all, finish strong.
Coming up next, Jack Nolan has a conversation with Fighting Irish head football coach Brian Kelly. This is Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com.
We are here in the conference room at the Goog today, kind of the recruiting war room. Coach Kelly has just given his, most people call it early signing day press conference, but you don't refer to it that way anymore. You call it signing day.
It is. I mean, last 2 years, we've gotten all of our work done here in December, and I think the players are starting to see this as the signing day, which I think everybody was a little concerned that it might be too early. I think now we're all kind of accustomed to the fact that this is probably just about right.
And the great thing about this day, no surprises, which means you got everybody you thought you were going to get.
Yes, we did. And I think that the calendar is such now that we are prepared and have allowed us plenty of time to build relationships with these players. So there are no surprises. And when it comes to Notre Dame, you're clearly in or you're not. And so you don't have a lot of waffling back and forth. You've either made this choice early on and you've cemented that decision, or you were never really part of the process in terms of Notre Dame being one of your schools. So that makes it a little bit easier for us in this process, and it's helped us make these days less drama-filled as we move forward.
Let's look back now on this past season. What are you most pleased about from the regular season?
I think we got better at the end of the year. I think, look, you started off pretty good. We probably ran into a rough spot there, but we finished strong. And I think in anything that you do, you always want to finish strong. And this team finished strong, winning 5 in the month of November, and doing it in a fashion that was pretty impressive. Both at home and on the road, played very good football. The quarterback really transformed his season into a great season. Defensively, probably as consistent a performance other than one. We're all going to go back to the Michigan game, but one night where we didn't play up to our level, but a pretty darn consistent performance all year from our defense.
And not just not playing up to your level. That was a punch to the gut for this whole team. And this team could have gone in one direction or the other. Many teams might not have gotten off the mat. Not only did your team get off the mat, but they played their best football of the year in the following weeks.
And they'll take that with them. It's what are the lessons you learn in playing this game. And Many people will talk about, what our shortfalls are. We'll talk about how we responded, and proud of our guys and the way they responded. Finished the season with 5 wins, and another 10-win season, something to be very proud of, and love the way our captains responded and making sure that we stuck with our process, and we saw it through, and now have a chance to win an 11th football game. Pretty impressive.
And it's the first time since 1993 that you have had 3 straight 10-win seasons by you, this program, but also you can always get better. So what things did you learn this year in terms of the areas that you need to improve in going forward?
Well, certainly staying in the present, staying in the now, not letting too much of the noise and the peripheral get involved with how you prepare and how you play the game. Our guys have done a really good job, for example, right now with exams going on and leaving those exams behind as we come into the practice. So I think all of those things in terms of playing here at Notre Dame, it's important that you leave those things behind and come out to the practice field, come out to the playing field, and be in the present. I think our guys have learned a great lesson there, and I think they'll carry that forward.
One of the great things about qualifying for a bowl game is you do get extra practice time. And I know that each year you use some of that time to give some of the younger guys more reps. It's different now because with the 4-game rule, you've seen a lot of them, but you're doing that again. What are you looking for?
Well, really what we're trying to get is some consistency in performance from the younger players. We kind of got a great glimpse of what they can do. Now it's can they do that and repeat it? And that's really what we're looking for more than anything else. Seeing Phil Jurkovec repeat performances, trying to see guys, repeat things on a day-to-day basis that we know they're capable of. So they've gotten a lot of reps here in the first 3 practices for that express purpose of giving them an opportunity to build some confidence and repeat good days back days. And we've seen that, and I think that's going to be a big dividends for them going into spring ball.
Of course, the Irish have a very interesting and challenging opponent in Iowa State in the Camping World Bowl. We'll be back to talk about that game right after this timeout on Inside Notre Dame Football. Welcome back to Inside Notre Dame Football. Coach, by the time the show airs, you'll already be in Orlando. So take us through the week, how you balance the work of getting ready for the bowl game with celebrating Christmas and allowing your guys to take part in all of those other activities surrounding the bowl.
Well, first of all, we've got reading days and exams going on at the same time. So with a truncated schedule where we don't have as many practice opportunities as we did, for example, last year, you've got to be very, very careful in how you prepare here. So the first 3 practices were really about our younger players getting a lot of work. We were in technique work for our veterans, much more technique work. But we're going to go into our 4th practice, and then the 4th practice has got to be some kind of scrimmage because we haven't scrimmaged or tackled anybody in about almost a month. So it's important that you get a scrimmage in before you go to the bowl site. I like to get in about typically a week's work before you get to the bowl site. You don't want to get all of your, in-season work, your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday work, the first time at the bowl site, because you never know what's going to happen at the bowl site. Maybe you get rain, maybe the practice fields aren't the right way, transportation issues, things happen. So I like to get a full week of Iowa State preparation before you go, and then duplicate that when you get there. So we only got 3 more days, when you look at our bowl schedule, and so it's a really tight schedule for us to get it all in.
And you head down on the 23rd to prepare the second week for a 7-5 Iowa State team. Is their record deceptive?
Oh yeah, this is a really good team. Well coached. Offensively, their quarterback is as good as we'll see all year. Outstanding running back. So this is a team that easily could have won 10 games, maybe even 11. Defensively, play hard. I mean, they are a group that is going to come after you every single play. Well coached again, and will be a great challenge for us. And it's certainly one that, they're playing Notre Dame. They're going to play their very best.
One of the biggest stories of this offseason is the fact that you've made a change at offensive coordinator. Talk about how you're dividing up those duties and who'll be calling the plays in the bowl game if you've made that decision as we speak.
Yeah, well, I'm spending some time on the offensive side of the ball to make sure that we're obviously doing the things that I think are necessary, with this kind of void. But Tommy Rees is handling the passing game. Lance Taylor is handling the running game. I think everybody is collaborating quite well. We're working through that process in terms of who's calling plays right now. Each day we're kind of getting closer to that, and we'll have a decision made here in the next couple of days.
Win or lose, your guys get a couple of weeks off, then they come back to campus. Winter conditioning starts and preparations for next season begin. What does this team need to do between the end of this football season, which is the 2 weeks after the bowl game, and going to Ireland to take on Navy?
Well, there's obviously going to be guys that are going to graduate. So you begin with obviously building that leadership back up to where it needs to be. Now, we're going to have a number of players that were in leadership roles last year coming back, and that's going to be a great advantage. This is going to be a veteran team, a seasoned team that's going to have a lot of that in place. So we'll be looking for that, but we'll be looking for maybe a little bit more. I think what we'll be looking for is pure accountability at a higher level and the expectations that, obviously 3 years of 10-plus wins, it's time to get back to the playoffs. And I think that that's a high bar, but one that our guys are certainly capable of.
Keys to beating Iowa State?
Well, first and foremost, you have to establish a running game because they are very stout against the run. And if any teams that have had success have found a way to run the football, Kansas State in particular. Once you do that, you have the opportunity to push the ball down the field. And then from a defensive perspective, it's pretty clear. The quarterback is outstanding. You have to keep him out of rhythm. When he gets in rhythm, he's as good as it gets. So get him out of rhythm, mix some things up. There'll be some pressures in there, obviously, to get him out of rhythm, but that's the key for us, get him out of rhythm.
It's time for our Tire Rack question of the week. This week's question comes from Todd Krall from Toledo, Ohio. Coach Kelly, as it relates to coaching, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
As it relates to coaching, I would say that the players will always give you your best piece of information. Always go to them to get the pulse and the information that you need. Don't always turn to the assistant coaches. Go to your players, go to your captains, get information for them. They'll help you, guide you with your decisions.
A lot of great plays during the Fighting Irish regular season, but it's time to announce the Vivid Seats Play of the Year.
It's pressure. Got him again. Aquara knocked it out. It is picked up and scooped by Ali Ogundeji. Touchdown.
This is Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com. I'm Darren Pritchett with former Irish quarterback Evan Sharpley. Camping World Bowl. Iowa State is the opponent for the Fighting Irish. First ever meeting between the two schools. One thing we know about Iowa State, they've got a really good passing attack. We also know Notre Dame's strength on defense is stopping the pass.
Yes, I mean, this is an Iowa State team, too, that has played great this whole year. They lost 3 or 4 games by a total of, under 10 points. So this is a scary game for this Notre Dame football team. But I think for Notre Dame, as we move now into what we would say the 2020 preseason, this is a great opportunity for them to build some momentum. I'm not going to overstate it. I'm not going to say it's going to catapult them into a great 2020 year, but you don't want to lose this football game. So for them, go down there, take care of business, send some of these seniors out on a high note and get ready for this 2020 year.
What would you like to see from the Fighting Irish offense against the Cyclones?
Well, from this offense, it's going to be a balanced attack. And for Ian Book, to go out there, be efficient as he has the second half of this season, rely on his great gameplay makers as far as Chase Claypool and a couple other guys too. And then from there, this defense, do what you do. Get off the field on third down, create some timely turnovers, and win the football game.
And as a former player, a chance to be with your guys one more time, a chance to win one more football game.
Yeah, and I think too, if you look at what this offseason provides now, bowl practices, You get some guys with maybe not a lot of experience. You get them some more reps as you build for the future. But it's kind of a send-off for the guys that have been part of this program, and you want to do it on a positive note.
Good luck to the Fighting Irish as they take on Iowa State in the Camping World Bowl. We thank you for joining us. Along with Evan Sharpley, I'm Darren Pritchett. This has been Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com. And brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Vivid Seats, Canon, and SiriusXM.